Good evening, meeps, creeps, and other assorted peeps. You know who you are.
What episode refers this, by the way?
Well, this would be 36, but we missed yesterday, so...
It's the first episode we've missed. Besides the 2 weeks we had the internet issue, the tower
Well, you said that we were going to do a double episode, so you can call this 35 and 36.
Okay, except for it's 11 now because our show ran until 10:30. We had a really good show tonight. Great straight talk. It was fun.
She changed the name to Great Talk.
Yeah, I like it.
It was a good show, and it was good to get back on Blog Talk again, get in that old saddle. That old worn leather saddle that feels so familiar.
Mm-hmm. I don't think about where we rebroadcast.
She's charged with enthusiasm.
Just the shows we're doing at the moment. So.
Well, okay. It was good anyway. It was good to have calling guests, you know.
Yeah, no, I did.
Good guests tonight.
Yeah.
Knew what the hell they were talking about, and then some.
Yeah.
Lots of people in the chat.
Yeah.
Lots of people in the chat.
Well, it's good.
Well, and I noticed, too, that we had a lot of listens on Blog Talk in the last 2 weeks.
What, 4,000 or something?
Mm-hmm.
Something ridiculous like that. That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
29,000 profile views or something. Thank you.
Pretty much for all intents and purposes, say 30 grand, yep.
Yeah. Yes. It's been a busy weekend.
I don't think there's weekend really in that equation at all.
That's
No.
true. That's so true.
There was no fishing, there was no family outings, there was no picnics.
Certainly wasn't a picnic.
Nope, you got that right. Anyway, yeah, it was a good straight talk. Tonight was on the internet radio and the future.
Well, the actual title was Mass Broadcasting, Enigma, or Epidemic.
Mass broadcasting, enigma or epidemic?
Right. Got smoke in my eye. I would start singing, but I've given up music for Lent.
For Lent?
Might as well be, same thing. Lent. It's all fluff.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were Jewish.
From an Irish Catholic boy. I didn't say Passover, I said Lent.
Well, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. My husband wasn't an altar boy growing up.
No. No, tried that. I have some aversion to that incense they burn. I don't know what it is, but...
It's frankincense and myrrh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. A font of innate knowledge.
I would call it actually a very effective smoke grenade.
I had no issue with it. I kind of liked it. I kind of dug it. I like incense in general, so...
Well, not me. I was on the floor, so no, never did the altar boy thing.
Okay. It's just, that whole Damien aversion to church, maybe.
Could be.
Yeah.
I'm with that. Yeah.
We'll never know. Well, we didn't get married in church, so.
No. God, no.
God, no. We got married outside. It was beautiful.
Yep.
So, I'm going to do my famous what else. It's going to have to be the Chris Taylor show tonight, Meeps. I'm tired.
1.78 billion people listen to internet radio.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
No, they don't.
No,
Those
but
are...
they are potential listeners.
Their potential, 1.78 billion.
That's how many people have broadband connection globally, right?
Yeah. Like right now, today.
Yeah.
6 months from now, who the hell knows what that number will be?
And research has shown that that kind of usage goes up by ridiculous percentages every year.
It does.
Yeah. Like
It does.
2,500, 3,500%.
3,500,
like
yeah.
3,500% a year.
In a year?
Mm.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous numbers.
It is. It is. And they're not even mine.
No. No. But they are all potential HTLA listeners.
Yes.
And
Yes,
viewers. And viewers of our webisodes. It's freezing. It's 28 degrees today. March 26th, 2012. 8 degrees.
You got a pansy.
It's ridiculous.
Nah.
I was just relaxing because it was 70 the other day. We went for a walk. It was awesome cool.
Yeah. Yeah. But you see,
I got all the heaters on again now. I almost bought firewood today when I was at the store. That's how cold I was. Seriously.
now the interesting thing is where I come from on the West Coast, usually by now, well, actually, what was it, about 2.5 weeks ago, Tom reported that
Yeah, you'd be in bloom by now.
that the flower count in
Yeah,
Victoria
there you go.
was 2.3 billion.
Maybe we should have stayed there when we got married.
Plus, of course, the traditional cherry trees blossoming all over, turning every street in Victoria pink.
Pink. We have those here in New Jersey.
Yeah, your blossom trees out here are a little smarter.
They wait.
You know, I was wondering last year what the hell was wrong with the trees. It was like everything around here is dead.
Yeah.
It's like a wasteland of death.
So big.
There is nothing until May. And I was wondering why the hell that is. And then May 1st rolled around last year, and I
Had snow.
learned why.
We had snow. They're predicting a snowstorm for April 4th up here.
Right.
Yeah, it's retarded.
And the other day when it was 70 degrees out and we were out for our walk, and I'm looking at the trees, looking at buds,
Nope.
thinking,
Oh,
come
there
on,
were buds?
Come on. Oh, there's buds, but they're closed up tighter than,
Yeah, that.
yeah. And,
I was going to say meat from now
yeah. And, you know, because usually by now I'm used to them all being open and alive.
Yeah.
Nope.
Wow.
Didn't happen last year. Not happening this year.
Yeah.
No, we're going to be looking at easily a week or so into May before any of these trees start budding.
Oh, I have news.
Oh!
I bought Haagen-Dazs today.
Yes.
I bought a lot of Haagen-Dazs. I bought big vanilla bean because that's my favorite,
Uh-huh.
and big chocolate for you.
Ooh.
And then I also, because I had a craving for root beer floats, but you don't want to put Haagen-Dazs in root beer floats, kind of sacrilege. So, I bought a huge tub of Blue Bunny ice cream, and I've never tasted Blue Bunny ice cream. But, you know, I was sick of Breyers. I'm really not a fan of Turkey Hill. Honestly, I'm completely spoiled now. All I like is Haagen-Dazs. So, I bought Blue Bunny because I figured, well, let's try it. And it's got the vanilla flecks in it, like the vanilla bean Haagen-Dazs.
Right.
Right? Damn good.
Really?
It's nowhere near Haagen-Dazs, but as, you know, regular ice cream goes for, like, sundaes or floats or whatever. Wow.
Does it beat Turkey Hill's ass?
Oh, God. I never even liked Turkey Hill. I hate Friendly's ice cream. Excuse me. Hate Friendly's ice cream. Never liked Turkey Hill. Breyers I can tolerate. But yeah, no, it's hot. Ben & Jerry's I like, but they have crazy flavors. That's why. You barely even taste the ice cream. There's so much gunk in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm spoiled on Haagen-Dazs. That's it.
Wow.
But I actually liked it, and I had a really delicious root beer float. And Gia was over the moon, which for her first root beer float, I made her ever. She never had a root beer float before, the first one.
Really?
Yeah, so she was over the moon. So yes. Yeah, sorry, Reeves. It's another yawning, and I can't wait to get the hell out of here and eat my ice cream kind of night. So.
Alrighty. Well.
But I didn't do an episode yesterday, so yeah, I'm here today. For today.
Yeah. Yeah. Your meep's a weight, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of worried about my meeps.
Why?
I don't know. What are they gonna do without their Sunny Kate Taylor?
There's Sunny Kate Taylor.
Yeah. Positive spouting. Universal love stuff.
Oh, where's she going?
Wow. I don't know. It's kind of hard to spout that kind of stuff now.
Why is that?
It just is. It just, you know, you get to a point. It's not unlike you, I guess, where, you know, you put 2 years into work and now it's time to see results and stuff, and it can be disheartening. So.
There's nothing but tumbleweeds.
Yeah. 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 I don't think they've ever seen me not full of optimism and hope and positivity either.
And you're not because...
It happens, you know. We all get full up. It's like that sign I posted today, or was it yesterday? I can't remember which day it was, but I don't know if it was on Pinterest or Facebook, but it says, people don't cry because they're weak, they cry because they've been strong for too long. You know?
That was on Facebook, actually, yeah.
I was wondering the other. But it's kind of like that dealio, you know? So. But you never know it by work, so. Great job.
Do you know what the hell she's talking about?
Well, all my girl meeps must know. But whatever. Whatever.
The girl meeps know.
The boy meeps are scratching their heads, I guess, too, but whatever.
Okay.
So tell us all about you had an offer on one of your script clients. You were gonna tell the meeps.
Oh, yeah, okay, sure. A little ominous there.
What's ominous?
Well, it's almost like you just announced the word, I'm dying of cancer. So didn't you have something you wanted to tell the meeps? What?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm so not like that.
Oh, no, I wasn't inferring you were like that.
No, I'm not. No, I would never be like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if any of you know what the hell's wrong with her, email me. Alright. Okay.
Don't worry, I'll throw myself into work because that's what I do. So.
That's what you do. Oh.
Yeah.
So something in your personal life then is causing you pain.
Oh. I don't know. I don't have a personal life.
Oh, well, such is the life of an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, there we go. We've got that straightened out. Kate's an entrepreneur.
No, Kate's not. Chris is. Kate's
Okay.
a housewife that runs a company in the meantime.
In the meantime.
Right. Right.
Well, I'm busy being an entrepreneur.
Right.
Do we have different companies that I don't know about, or?
No. No, I'm just working here until Well, I'll always be a host and the writer and the talent and stuff, but I'm just working here until, you know, you have more qualified support to do that, to run our company.
Fair
I
enough.
just want to cook and have hot tubs.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Susan.
Ooh. I think I know what she'd say right now.
I do too. But see, that's okay, because I've already been her. I've already done the fiercely independent thing. And like feminism, it had its day for me. So I've already been there, done that. I've already rebuilt my life twice and, you know, raised Gia alone for 10 years, and I did have a house and take care of it. And, you know, I was pretty much the male head of the household for a decade.
Uh-huh.
And so I did all that already, you know, and hated it then. But it had to be done. Nobody else was here.
You know, I'm quite sure that, I don't know, every single parent out there would feel pretty much the same way.
Well, no, not every. I
No?
mean, there's women out there like Susan who find their liberation in their independence. Mine was a prison. My independence was a prison.
Huh.
Yeah. Everybody's different. I've been independent my whole life. So, never had anybody to answer to. Never had anything except whatever I wanted.
Right.
And to me, it was a prison. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I like my structure. I like my little box. Yeah. I mean, it depends on how you are and how you were raised, you know, and what you had in life. And I had everything. And I had everything, and it was so easy. It was a piece of cake. So, you know, I like to earn things, and I like my structure, and I like my sturdy foundations and my security, and, you know, the tighter I'm confined, the freer I am. So. It's just the way it is. She had the opposite. She was raised as that traditional 50s kind of environment. You know, she grew up pre-feminism. So she was raised to be that housewife, that June Cleaver thing, and she did that, and she had her kids, and she got fat, and she hated it, and she wanted more. And her more was, you know, divorce and independence and raising her children as a single mother and getting fit and having a career. And but I did all that already, you know. So I'm it's like a reverse kind of thing.
Do you like the anti-powder?
Right, pretty much, yeah. You can be the anti-Chris and I'll be the anti-powder, and we're perfect. That might not be a bad show. But, yeah. So, you know, everybody thinks it's so awesome to be left to your own devices. It's not. So. It is if it's your choice, you know, but not if it's not your choice.
Huh.
How about a steak, though?
No!
I haven't had one yet this episode. Thanks. So, yeah. I'm just continuing that for a little while until we get our conglomerate rolling, and once we've attained world domination, I'm going back home to cook and watch my soaps.
Okay.
I still want to do my shows, though, make films.
Well, you see, that is something I'd like to see, because having made films, you don't have time to cook.
It doesn't matter. See, that's the thing. It's my choice. if I choose to work on a project, I can do that, and then, you know, the next few months when I am home and I don't have a project to work on, I can be what I want to be.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, if you're going to approach it from that kind of angle, then sure.
It's my choice, you know. So, or I can just write them and I can let other people make them, too. Because by the time this is done and I get to the filmmaking part anyway, who knows?
Right. Huh.
And a lot of people are different, you know. A lot of people are really naive, and I'm not going to say that I wasn't, but it was only by virtue of my sheltered upbringing. You know, not because I was a naive person, but, you know, everything was kept from me too. I was very handled growing up and sheltered, and you know, I was given what I want to shut me up, and I didn't have to question or do too much. You know, just it was kind of a way to manipulate me.
Mm-hmm.
But once I got that independence and that, you know, graduate level education, and the world opened up to me because of the internet and the things I was able to do and the people I was able to meet and the things I got into, you know, I realized that a lot of people, you know, they're naive because of just that's their nature, whatever, you know, and as life wears them down and stuff, they get older and bitter, and, you know, they just keep getting older. It doesn't matter if they're 20, 30, 40, and they're just old already because life's been so tough. Well, life was really tough for me, but when I survived it and I had the ability to become educated and break free and choose what kind of life I wanted, you know, I chose that. I got younger. I decided I was going to have a do-over, and I was going to live the way I should have the first time around. So, at 40, I started over.
Right.
Right. So that's how I look at it.
That seems to be like the magical age for a lot of people. I know Chris Topp today in our radio show there just an hour ago, he was saying, you know, basically the same kind of thing about...
Yeah. He chose the responsible path and stuff like that, and then realized you only have one go-round. You better do what makes you happy.
Right.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
Huh.
Well, that's because it takes us 40 years to realize how stupid we've been for the last 40 years. And then that's why we're also granted another 40, so we can do it right and set the record straight before we die. So, at least that's what I think.
Such a positive and cheery outlook, isn't it?
Death comes sooner to some.
So, you put this on my desk today.
Right, because you've started listening to his stuff, and
Doctor...
It's all about eliminating those things that we use as excuses to keep us from growing and moving forward. We use our bad experiences in life to hold us back instead of seeing how they're growth opportunities. And it's very hard at 40 or later or earlier to let go of the things that we've implanted in our own heads as truth based on other people's opinions or other people's treating of us and things like that. So it's a very good book to help you at least start the process of thinking about why you should change those habit patterns and how they really have held you back. But it all starts with the same simple premise, and there's no shortcuts, and there's no way around it, and there is no you know, cheat codes. You have to be completely honest and take responsibility for all the bad shit that's happened to you in your life. And it's not that you take responsibility for the bad things that were done to you. Sorry, my fingers aren't working today. Would you please? Thank you. But you take responsibility for your reaction to them. And a lot of people will say to me when I counsel them or when I bring this stuff up, I've actually written papers about this shit, about, you know, bad stuff happening in self-esteem and the effect it has on development and stuff. When you're a child, you think like a child, so your reaction to bad things happening are as a child because you have a limited life experience. But when you're an adult, you have an opportunity to revisit those things with an objective, adult, more educated, intellectual way. And
hopefully.
Right, hopefully. But, well, we all do. But here's the choice.
No, I know a lot of 40-year-olds and older that I would not in the wildest sense deem intellectual.
Well, we all have an intellectual capacity, whatever that level is. Everybody's intellectual level is different, but we all have an ability to be intellectual about something, right? To think of it critically and to not think of it. Well, the bottom line is it's easier to reflect on these bad occurrences emotionally and with damaged and bruised egos than intellectually and objectively. And when you can do that, then you can release them. But, you know, more people prefer to stay in pain and hold on to them because it's safer. And once you let go of your pain and your hurts, you feel blank and you don't know what's going to happen next, and it's scary. And you have a hard time letting go of those things and moving forward. So this book helps you to do that. So, because all those kind of habits and excuses, like he says in the book, are incredibly self-defeating. You think you're protecting yourself and cocooning yourself, and you're not. You're just hurting yourself more. So, it all starts with being honest with yourself.
Well, I'm kind of interested about the little tagline to this book. It says, "How to change lifelong self-defeating thinking habits."
Right. And some of the excuses that we tell ourselves are, well, I can't do this because I don't have enough education. Or I can't do this because, well, it's too expensive. I don't have the money to do that. Or I can't do that because, well, nobody's going to want to see or hear it or listen to me anyway.
Right.
And, you know, these are all ridiculous. They're nothing but excuses. They're just excuses. You know, and myself and Chris Top and anybody else who has gone through bad shit in their life and used it as a stepping stone instead of an obstacle will tell you they're just excuses. So that's it. And when you let those excuses keep you from growing and moving forward and becoming the person you're meant to be, then all the people and situations in your past that have hurt you, they win. It's as simple as that.
Where is the winning on that? You've lost.
They hurt you once, and you're continuing to allow them to continue to hurt you. The reason they hurt you in the first place was because they had an innate need to have an upper hand over you, or to have some kind of power over you, whether it's in a moment because it was an actual me versus you situation, or whether it was, well, I can never do the things you want to do, so I'm going to make you think you can't either. There's several different, you know, scenarios, but they all come down to my ego versus your ego. And when you allow whatever the harmful thing was that was done to you, even an act of violence, you know, whether it was domestic abuse or, you know, child abuse by a parent or sexual abuse, because I've experienced all of them, it still comes down to a me versus you kind of thing. And if you still allow those things to hurt you long after the actual physical pain is stopped, and then they're still winning. They're still hurting you. It's like you're right there. You might as well have never left. You know, you either make things stronger, you know, you allow those kind of things to make you stronger, or you let them tear you down. There's no other alternative besides one of the two. And that's it. You know, and especially to my mind, you know, I've never intentionally hurt anybody in my life, ever. I could never bear the thought that I caused another intentional pain or upsetment, even for a minute.
I could.
Well, you know, I've thought about it. Of course, in our minds we have revenge fantasies and we have all these kind of things, but when it would actually come down to it, I always had, you know, that filter, that boundary. I could never actually do it. But now I forgot my point. Thank you very much. Yeah, now I forgot my point. Because I don't have a head for anything today anyway. You know. But, yeah, what was my point? I know it was important. Because I don't generally say things unless they actually mean something.
Okay, well, you know, that aside, you know, my point here is, you know, he's saying how to change lifelong self-defeating thinking. To my understanding of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, oh wait, there is none, is that there are so many outside forces that either by way of existing or with some focused malice are against you anyway. Why would anybody?
Yeah, but that's the whole point, don't you see? That's the whole point. There is no outside anything that could ever hurt me, because I am my own foundation. I've done all that work already. I know that if anything's going to hurt me, it's only because I let it. You know what I mean?
Okay, so somebody comes up to you in the mall tomorrow and shoots you in the head.
Yeah.
That doesn't hurt you?
Well, of course it does. But am I going to keep it for the next 40, 50 years? And am I going to stay at home in my room? And no, I'm going to make sure that person goes to trial. They're punished for their crime. And, I'm going to celebrate her life and I'm going to move on. What good is it going to do me? She's gone. What am I going to do? I'm going to let it ruin my life? Of course it's going to hurt. She's my child. Internally, that pain will never be gone. But I'll use it to motivate me rather than destroy me. There's the difference.
Motivate you to seek vengeance.
No, not vengeance. A, justice. And B, hopefully I'll be able to use it in some way to help somebody else. Anything you've ever been through is there's somebody going through it now, or somebody's recently gone through it. And if you tell your story, and you tell your story especially about how you let it help you and move forward in life, then it means something. But if you just keep it in and let it keep hurting you, and you don't do anything with your life because somebody else did something to you, they're winning. They did that thing to you to hurt you. You allowed it. You're still allowing it. You have nobody to blame but yourself if you're still allowing it. The event is over.
Yes, but I can speak from experience, and I think probably a lot of our viewers can too. There are some things that happen to you in life that weren't done to you with any intent or malice, but the result was still the same.
Right, they're easiest to forgive if you know they weren't done with intent and malice. If you know people are human and they're fallible and they do things without thinking, and sometimes the things they do that hurt you had actually nothing to do with you at all, but your ego told you it did. So now you're being doubly stupid, because not only are you still letting the hurtful event hurt you, but it was an event that was never intended to hurt you in the first place. So it ultimately comes down to your ego. Saying, oh, poor me, I was hurt. Well, I'm not doing this now because I was hurt. Well, so was everybody.
Personally, I can think of one time that comes to mind right now about a situation that I was put in pertaining to my little brother, who was little at the time. He was like 6 years old. And I can think of certain circumstances that led to the actual event that, to me, I don't know how anybody of conscience can come back from.
Well, no, people can come from a lot worse.
There was no malice there. There was no malice with the third parties that were involved.
Just ignorance.
There was no intent through mom or social workers or the extended family, but yet circumstances ended up being that this particular scenario took place at a very young point in my life, and even younger in my brother's.
Yes.
And when something like that happens, the only thing you can do is try and rationalize and reason to your own self. And at the time, I remember thinking, walking down that street as he was running behind me, screaming for me because he was scared. He didn't know what the hell to do. And I can remember actually having a conscious thought, I can't deal with it. Why am I dealing with this? I just have to get away. I put my
Self-preservation.
I guess instinctual needs first.
Sure. It's normal.
And doing for him the only thing I thought I could at the time. But still, when you face that moment, it's like circumstances have brought us to this, and now this is happening. There's nothing I can do about it. It's out of my control. All I can do is try and make sure he's as safe as possible, and I am too. But you don't forget that.
No,
you don't. Know the look on his face, that abandonment, that
right.
Yeah, right. So, there I am at 13, 14 years old, having to abandon my 6-year-old brother because of all these other circumstances and situations out of our control.
Right.
And
that's the key, out of your control.
Well, exactly. But
in honesty, you've been taking care of him for many, many years before that at a very young age, too. So there was also, in everyone's, growing up, and everyone's absolute normal reaction would be that I'm finally free kind of thing, too. And there's, that promotes a lot of guilt. The circumstances you were both left in, and the circumstances that led to your having to leave and leave him there and go back where you went by yourself, no one can blame you for. So there's no reason for you to blame yourself for that. Children have
but I do, though, you see,
control.
because when you're in that situation, you're looking at that 6-year-old face 25 feet from you.
Yeah, that's a 14-year-old emotional reaction, and that's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, but it's an adult situation.
It doesn't matter. You're only 14. And that's how you react, and that's how you've held on to it. But now at 44, you can look at it as an adult. And you can say...
Sure, and I can rationalize all the reasons around it and understand them perfectly. It doesn't take away the moment. It doesn't take away that pain.
No, but it shouldn't suppress you and cause you not to do anything more with your life either. You can't let that guilt and that pain keep you from living. And it's not even as if you're afraid that circumstance is going to recur, because you're 44 now and you are in control. So there's absolutely no excuse for you to hang on to that painful memory. But you have that kind of personality where you take on guilt and things that aren't even your own. You're
sure.
An incredibly sensitive soul. And you have to realize now at this age, though, that it's kept you from doing a lot of things that, were beneficial to you before this point in your life. And a lot of decisions were made based on that pain rather than, the actual factual
Yeah, but I mean, that's human nature. You would never, ever, ever want to be put in that situation ever again with your kid or anybody else's.
No, but I'll tell you what, I would trade that in a second for having to live 20 years in a violent, horribly abusive, terrifying home every minute. Because that's really a lot worse. That's really a lot worse. Your 1 minute was my 20 years. Your few months without your mother because she was in the hospital is a lot different than 20 years every moment in a violent, terrifying environment with no one to trust. The people that are supposed to be taking care of you are your worst enemies. So, if you can grow and overcome that, how many times have you tried to kill yourself over that? I mean, I was 8 the first time I tried. I was 11 the second time, 14 the third, 16 the fourth. I had no other
What were you doing wrong?
I don't know. Believe me, I tried. Believe me. The last 3 times were overdoses. I shouldn't be here. It's the same thing like with a friend of ours who gets shot in the head and lived. It's just your time's not up yet. No matter what you do, it's not up. You're not going. That's just the way it works.
True.
Yeah. And I let it hold me back for many, many years, and I let it keep me afraid of everything in life. I didn't live, I existed until I had Gia. She brought me back to life. You know, I didn't even have the capacity to love anything besides an animal until I had Gia. I was 31 when I had her. That was all my life. So, you know, at least you had emotions to worry about. I was a stone.
So there you go. I'm not that bad off.
No, not at all. But the point is, only death can't be overcome. There's some people out there that say even that's not true, but ultimately, you know, that's the only thing that we can't come back from. You know, that we can't recover from. And the choice is yours. The choice is yours. You know, that bad person that made you leave Mikey there that day, he's still winning if you're still hurting.
That wasn't a bad person. I did what I had to do.
No, the bad person that caused the situation that made you leave the house that day.
Oh.
You wouldn't have left if everything was hunky-dory over there. You would have never left him there, but you had to think of your own safety. You couldn't do anything for yourself or Mike if you were hurt or dead.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody but you blames you for that. I'm sure even as an adult, even if he says it in arguments to hurt you, he knows that you had no choice either. But none of that has anything to do with your capacity now to realize that was a long time ago. And you survived it. And you made it through that. You know, you didn't lose your shit and have a breakdown and you know, become some kind of wandering, drooling, lithium addicted bum. You know, you had a life after that. You know, you've had relationships, you've had children, you've had highly successful ventures before.
Yep.
You know, but we tend to lean back on those things that hurt us most when faced with new, unknown things. And those are the kind of blocks that you have to get through. And, you know, even bringing that up is an excuse because it doesn't have any relevance to your life today whatsoever. In no way.
Well, yeah, it does, because you're talking about things in the past that are holding me back.
Right.
Self-defeating _
Yeah, but that wasn't self-defeating.
Well, that's kind of my point. That was a pretty traumatic point in my life for me. I don't see how it's held me back in any way other than I don't like kids.
Well, there's a whole lot more to that story, too, though.
Well, there probably is, but that is certainly one more reason why I never wanted kids.
Right, because you never wanted to feel that pain again of having to leave them behind.
Well.
And what if you keep continually being faced with those things we resist?
Kids and cats.
Right, right. Because what we refuse to confront, we're continually faced with until we do.
No, I haven't been faced with. I've been bombarded with.
There you go. You know why? And you know what that tells me?
I should be a teacher.
No, that, you know, there's a significant purpose for you, and you're not living it. And, you know, the universe is going to kick your ass until you get it, because you have a purpose.
What? So my ultimate purpose on this world is to have a reality show called Chris and Kate and 8 cats and 8 kids?
No. Don't gloss over with the ridiculous stuff. The heart of the matter is, whatever in life we resist, we confront. And we can't move forward to our ultimate purpose unless we do that. You know, I had a fear my whole life. It was security-based because I had none. You know, I didn't think that I was anything unless I owned my own house. And, you know, I had my house was paid off. My car was paid off. You know, I did everything I was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then I had an accident. And I went through a horrible divorce. And for lack of one signature, you know, that a vindictive person wouldn't put on a piece of paper, I lost my house. And here I was, not able to walk, with a 16-week-old baby and no home and no money for the next 3 years. I had $14 a week to go to the grocery store. That was my worst fear. I had no greater fear in life than that. And I had to confront it. And I survived it. So, you know, that's it. That's it. You know, it made me stronger. At the time, I didn't think I was going to make it through it. You know,
well, I guess not.
Right. There literally came that point when I had to say to myself, look, either I can stop feeling sorry for myself and being suicidal and worrying myself sick every day, or I can be the kind of mother that this baby needs and rebuild. Because what's my other option? You know, you either rebuild or you quit. That's it. And if it was just me, maybe I wouldn't have made that decision. But because I had her to think about, the only thing I'd ever loved in my life until that point, except the pets, you know, I chose the latter.
Mm-hmm.
And here I am today, or I wouldn't even be sitting here today. You know. And then I moved here, I got my shit together, and what I do, I made the same mistake. My whole entire life was paying off this house and paying off this car and keeping this house nice and doing all this kind of stuff. And what happened? I hired a contractor that wrecked my house. Same thing, because I didn't learn my lesson the first time, that true security comes from within. Not from anything you own, anything you possess, anybody else around you. You can only feel secure in your own skin. That's the only time. And if you do, then whatever else happens around you doesn't matter. You're always going to be okay. And that's it. And since I realized that, since I finally got it through my thick skull, what the universe was trying to tell me, I have had nothing but, you know, climbing and met the love of my life and feel better than I ever have in my life. You know, doing things.
But you won't get this positivity on her Facebook, damn it.
No.
And a special note to men now, as we've just realized in this last 45 minutes, resist Playboy Playmates and you'll get inundated with them. You'll be showered with them.
Yeah, believe it or not, put the wish out there, but then let it go, because if you dwell on it, it's never going to come. It's like a watch pot, it won't boil. Well, the bottom line is, you know, I forget about myself when I'm helping others, and that was just what you witnessed. That's all. It doesn't change anything about how I am or how I felt at the beginning of the show. I just took my mind off myself.
Really, kind of does, because in order to even give any advice that you just gave, you have to live it. You have to know it. You've read all these books. You know the secret. Exactly.
Yeah.
So now.
But my issue right now, the reason that I'm not my perky, positive self today like usual, has nothing to do with me. So I can't do anything about it. It's out of my control.
So until I read all these books and do all the work and get myself uber freaking Dalai Lama, she's going to be snotty.
Yeah, no, I don't want the Dalai Lama. I wouldn't be attracted to the Dalai Lama. It's not sexy. Sorry. I don't want to change your inherent character. I want to make it more powerful and bring out what you are naturally. That strength that you're so afraid to release for some reason. Because whenever you've tried before, it was catastrophic. But I wasn't there then, and you weren't the way you are now then. It's a different ballgame. So. Yeah. The bottom line is you're not going to be hearing any more of that self-deprecating crap from him. Anymore. Because it all stems from that place. You know, when he was young and had no control, and he just had to do everything he was supposed to do and take care of everybody else. He had no power, he had no control. And then when he got older, he released all that pent-up stuff, and I don't know exactly what happened because he won't tell me. But it had to have been some kind of catastrophic disaster because he's terrified to do it again. So, and that's held him back. That's kept him at that ceiling, that glass ceiling of success. And, you know, you have to get through whatever that is, overcome it, and break through that glass ceiling. And then you'll be the person you're meant to be. And that's it.
And then look out.
And then look out. It's no joke, baby. It's no joke. It's no joke.
There will be so many people in court, it won't be funny.
It's not even that. You won't. You know what, honey? You don't even care about that anymore. That stuff doesn't matter anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. And it's especially hard with somebody like him who's held on to that revenge fantasy for dear life for 20-something years.
Well, there's always new ones, because there's always new targets.
But no, when you do the work and you become then. You transcend your pain and your past. That stuff doesn't matter anymore. And it's hard to let go of it. It really is. But you're so much better off. You feel so much better. You just do. You know, like when your car's out of whack and you get it like aligned, and then it just feels, that's exactly what it's like. It's like when you go to the chiropractor and you're out of whack and you get all aligned. It's exactly what it's like. I can't even describe it. You don't even realize how far out of whack you are unless you get your shit straightened out. It's just the best analogy I can come up with.
So it's a chiropractor for your attitude.
There you go. I like that. That's right.
All right.
But whatever. Was that my last cigarette in the pack?
Yeah, it's okay. You got more.
I know. It's just that I want one now.
Well, look at that. It's 11:57.
How long has our show been tonight? Wow, another one of our longest running episodes.
And you thought you didn't have anything to talk about.
I always got shit to talk about.
Yeah?
Just nobody wants to hear it.
No?
I'd complain, but who'd listen?
Okay.
Well, anyway, thank you for joining us with Therapy with the Taylors.
Yeah.
It's good, though, because like I said, when people hear your stories, they can relate, and it helps. It helps. You don't even know how or why you're helping somebody, but you do, and it makes all the difference to them.
I'm helping somebody right now.
Absolutely. Somebody's going to hear your story tonight, and it's going to resonate with them, and it's going to give them a moment of pause to think. Maybe there is more, maybe there is better. So, if he's willing to try, maybe I can too. And that's how I know, because I've been in the position of that person, and I've heard things, or I've seen things, or I listened to a dire audiobook, or something like that, and it was just enough to get me through that next hour or that next day to keep trying.
All right.
So,
There you go.
yeah. All right.
HTLA, helping people.
That's right. Well, we've always brought people together. It's just something we're good at naturally.
Yes, sometimes in mobs with pitchforks.
Yeah, well, they can come today because I'm in the mood.
Oh.
Yeah. Just call me Zero Tolerance Taylor today.
All right.
'Cause that's where
Well, I know you put out a phone number. I know you put out the address.
Mm.
Come on down!
They have to get through the security gates and stuff first, though. They don't know anything.
Well, that's the funny part.
Yeah.
All right, so
Okay.
unless there's anything else.
Not that I'm aware of, but no show tomorrow, but webisode tomorrow. So.
Episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday, premiere of Real Talk with Kate.
It's going to be kick butt.
Do you have any suggestions for film genre? Post them. Post them on my Facebook. Post them on Twitter, at the Fierce Kitty Kate, or at Straight Talk 973.
I would like you to
What?
take a Korean action film.
Okay. Chinese are better, but okay.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know my Asian film.
Korean action film and North American 1950s action film.
Okay, I'd love to hear your suggestions. Send them to me. Actually, I have a wonderful South Korean, it's kind of like a political thriller where these two mismatched cops have to team up to stop a North Korean bomb. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Wow.
I forget the name of it. It's called. One of the best Korean films, and I'll tell you, this is a film that got me started on Asian drama and thriller. It's called Infernal Affairs. And actually, there was a movie based on it. They remade it in American. Anyway, two undercover cops. Actually, this is the basis for The Departed by Scorsese.
Right.
It's called Infernal Affairs. One is the undercover cop. One is the criminal he goes after. Blah blah. And then the line becomes blurred between who's really the criminal and who's really the good guy. And blah blah blah. Freaking brilliant. I should that should probably be my first one. I will, well, if I can get my hands on a copy of Infernal Affairs. So it's either, I haven't seen the film in years, unless they have it on Netflix.
Probably.
It could be. Possibly not, because it was a brilliant film. We'll watch it together. But it is the basis for The Departed. Scorsese didn't write that. That is a remake of an Asian crime thriller. Sorry, Harvey.
All right. But if you got any ideas for next week, write them in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. If I can't get my hands on Infernal Affairs, I can't do it, right? I wouldn't.
Write them in anyway.
Yeah, write them in anyway. Okay, well, good night, Meep. See you tomorrow.
Good night, everybody.